Hi Scorpio, these are going to be general messages for you guys for May. I'm going to be using the Lenormand and the Rider-Waite, getting old school, getting back to my tarot roots. So no astrology in this one. We're going to do straight up whatever comes out. Okay, we're going to start with the Lenormand deck. I like working with this deck. It's not tarot. Those of you who are not familiar with the Lenormand, it's not tarot. And it's not oracle, it's a different system. So we're starting off with magnifying glass as a crowning energy. Very nice. You have to look at something much closer. Something getting cut out. Let's see. Nice. And then we have the man. There are two men in this deck, and this is one. This is man number 1. All right, so we're going to talk about these, but let's pull some Rider-Waite. So we'll pull a line and then some qualifiers, and we'll get right into it. Okay, hope you guys are doing well today. Many messages that Scorpio needs to know for the month of May. And guys, you know I do go week by week with the astrology and all of that, but for now I just felt very moved to just do some straight energy reads. Let's see what we get. So we're going to pull 5 across, and then we'll pull 5 qualifiers coming down underneath it. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what we have. So let's just start with the Lenormand. So we'll start with the magnifying glass. Something needs to be looked at more clearly, Scorpio. If something hasn't been making sense to you, this calls for a second look, like at a current issue that's going on in your life right now. It's time to scrutinize and analyze, because you might be overlooking something that isn't apparent or even visible, or you're feeling this intuitively, like you're just feeling like something else is there. In the realm of emotional issues, this suggests a preoccupation. You may be focusing on something too much. Which, you know, is kind of like what you guys do, but I mean, it is part of the Scorpio archetype, because, you know, it's known that wherever Scorpio and Pluto hang out in the chart, that is where our obsessions lie. And obsessions are not always a bad thing. It's just what we spend, more time, this level of preoccupation thinking about. So you may just be focusing on something a little too much. So, you need to look at that closer. Why are you doing that? If you find that you are doing that, right? Because the bottom line here, any sort of obsessive thinking might be obscuring your clarity, right? So we have to look at the card to the left, right, of the card, right, which would be the scythe. So we have to look at this energy, right? Because the way the Lenormand decks work is the cards kind of speak to each other. I mean, tarot communicates, but this is like on a deeper level. So one will inform the understanding of the other. So we have to look at the scythe here, and this is like what it seems like. This is what it seems like before taking that closer look, right? This indicates a difficult decision needing to be made. At least you're feeling that way. You're feeling like something might be an accident. You feel like you might be making a mistake doing something, something you fear, right? You're just afraid of something being taken away from you, like you putting all of your eggs in one basket, or you giving your energy to someone or something, and then all of a sudden having it like very traumatically and in a shocking way being cut away from you, because that is what the scythe is. And this tells me this is what you're thinking, right? So this is what you're thinking before looking at something closer, before sort of, because what does the scythe do? The scythe kind of cuts through the weeds, right? That's what it is. So it's before cutting through all the weeds, like what are you thinking about this person or about this situation, right? Because you do have this intuitive fear, right, of something. If you give all your energy to something, it can end in a very traumatic and shocking way. But then we have to look to the card to the right of it, right, which would be the man. And this is the reality of the situation. So this isn't so much, that's what you're thinking before looking at things more closely and based in reality. But this is reality right here, right? This is the reality of the situation. So this speaks of like the waiting and the patience and the quiet endurance of a significant other, of waiting and so, Scorpio, I'm getting that if those of you who are here with relationship, right, this is speaking very directly to you. Now, this can be representing you or the person that you're dealing with. This really does not have an inflection here having to do with career just yet, although the tarot may. All right, so this does indicate this idea of waiting patience and this quiet endurance, right? Or that, from another, or that it's something that you need to adopt, right? But the idea here is that those of you who are in a connection, in a relationship, the reality of what you see in your connection, whether you guys are together or whether you're not, is obscured right now. And this is the reality, which is way more positive than that. This is fear. I mean, I'm understanding this as fear. You're just being very afraid of a situation. So maybe you were with a person, or you are with a person, and they in some way hurt you, or you're experiencing hurt right now, and you just think that that's all it is, that's all it's ever going to be. But I feel like there is this lack of understanding regarding this person. For sure. It's better than it seems, okay? It's better than it seems. Let's get into this now. So we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So this just tells me, ace is always a beginning. So this tells me that there's some sort of lack of communication, or not very solid open communication when it comes to starting this next cycle. So this could have to do with, if it has to do with a job, this could be you not being told the full story about it. If this has to do with career, you having the full truth held back from you as we enter into this new cycle. And we're all entering into a new cycle. All of us across the globe. We all are, right? And this is you just not knowing all the information, not being completely sure if you are being told everything, having to do with this new beginning. This could also have to do with relationship, of course, right? And then we have the Star reverse, and this is an Aquarius card. So when we have Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It's about doing things differently. And this is reverse. So this tells me that there's going to be some sort of healing is not going to be happening because something is not going to be handled differently. Straight up, that's what it means. It means it's going to end up going back to being exactly what it was, right? Because again, the Star is about healing, right? But because it's associated with Aquarius, we have to recognize, how Uranus plays an impact here. And this is all about the healing's not going to happen because things are not going to be handled differently. So then we have the Tower. So there's something that's coming down. Now, before you flip out, because it's the Tower, it's the ending of something, this could certainly be the ending of a job or a relationship that you were just not meant to really be involved in, because this is associated with Mars. And Mars is linked to the Chariot, right? And the Chariot, not to play like string along with like tarot and astrology here. I said no astrology, but I always connect my cards to astrology. This is connected to Mars, which is connected to the Chariot, which is connected to Cancer. And Cancer is that fourth house energy of home. And we can look at it as our metaphorical home space. Where do we belong? Where do we feel safe? What feels loving to us? What feels like we're in the pocket of where we're supposed to be? That could be in a relationship or in a job. And what I'm getting here is that whatever ended here was not it for you, even if you think it right now or have thought it for a long time. It wasn't. It hasn't been, and it's not. Okay? Now, that's going to resonate with many of you where there's literally an ending of something. So this could be the ending of a job, an ending of a relationship. At the same time, it doesn't have to mean either of those things. This could simply be a falling down and a falling apart of your belief system and the way that you have been viewing life. And the reason I'm saying that is because we then have the Emperor energy, okay? So I'm getting that there needs to be some sort of revamping of your ideas and your ideals and what you see in your mind's eye for yourself, Scorpio. What you see in your mind's eye, because we have the Emperor energy now after this. So you may be dealing with the narcissistic energy. Those of you in relationship, the Emperor reverse is the card of the narcissist. For those of you who are not sure what that means, this is somebody who's quite selfish, who deflects, who gaslights. Gaslighting is when they'll say something to you and say, I never said that. I think you need help. I really do. I think there's something wrong with you. Everyone says it. We all believe that something's off with you. That's gaslighting, right? Deflection is, where you know that they're doing something, and when you bring it to their attention, they try to turn the tables and say that you're the one who's doing it, right? If you're not familiar with that energy. Now, at the same time, you don't have to be dealing with that energy at all. Remember, the Emperor energy is associated with Aries and Mars, right? Because Mars rules Aries, which is all about a new path and a fresh perspective and a fresh initiative. So this could also indicate that you're in a space almost where you're in like a, dare I say, almost like a little bit of a crisis. It doesn't have to be the world is falling apart, but within yourself saying, okay, everything that I thought up to this point has to be changed, because if I don't do that, there's no way that I'm going to bring myself a new path. I need to have a totally different perspective about work. I have to have a different perspective about relationship. I have to change the way I'm seeing this person who I'm dealing with, right? And again, seeing. It's about changing the way you see things. Going back to the magnifying glass, right? That's what, that this is why I'm making this connection, right? Because the cards are talking to each other here. So this does really require you really taking a hard look at your thought process and how you view things. How do you view career? How do you view this person in the relationship? How do you view relationship at all? Because in order for you to have this new beginning, and in order for anything to be any different for you, you're going to have to change the way you see things. And in order to do that, you have to look closer to see where the fissures are in your belief system. Yeah, because right now you're in a space where you're not gaining wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment. And in the reverse, this indicates that there is an issue going on here with you getting to that space, right? Because this is a Jupiter and Pisces energy. So what is holding you back from being able to progress forward into a space that's really speaking to you, that's going to bring you that luck and expansion that you really want, that's going to bring you to that dream space, rather, is more of what I wanted to say, right? Because Pisces energy, when it comes to cup, when it's a cup energy, has to do with our dreams. And what is that? That sounds so cheesy, but it's that what you see in your mind's eye as really being that space of arriving for you, and recognizing if you're not there, what's the issue with you being here and not being there? What's in the way? And it's time to really look at that. Now, for many of you, this is going to require going back in time. The Six of Wands is Six of Cups is a beautiful energy here. It's a Sun in Scorpio. Sun is always about illumination, and Scorpio is about transformation. But because the Six of Cups specifically has to do with revisiting the past, this can absolutely have to do with getting back together with somebody that you have not been with. Reconnecting, reconciling with an old relationship. For some of you, this can be revisiting a job that you used to do, revisiting a job that you wanted to do once upon a time, although that wouldn't really be a revisit literally, but it would be tapping back into the thing that you wanted to do that once upon a time. Okay? For some of you, it can indicate meeting a new person that you feel like you've met before, where you feel you know them from a past life, but there is this familiarity about the situation for sure. Then we have the Five of Wands in the reverse. You're going to find yourself in a space of conflict, a battle of the wills with somebody, and you're going to be like, this is not even my issue. This is somebody else's ego that I'm being made to have to deal with. And that's really what this is, right? And it may very well have to do with money. So we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, yeah? Mercury and Virgo. So Mercury, there's communication, and Virgo is about, you're communicating about the pragmatics of a situation having to do with money, because it's Pentacles, and you guys just not seeing eye to eye on something. So this can absolutely have to do with, an employer. This could have to do with arguing with the significant other, having to do with money, whether it's how they handle money or money coming in, or how you guys are going to make more money as a couple. It's going to be a little different for each of you. But it's this recognizing that there needs to be a different approach. There needs to be a different approach. Now, the Two of Pentacles energy we have here, this very specifically means that, because the Two of Pentacles in the upright is about, you being recognized for things, that you're doing, that you're bringing to the table, which is great. But now in the reverse, you're very confused between moving forward, because there is something very quite literally standing in your way. Now, this may be your own belief system. This can just be the quarantine. This can be something that is getting in your way from being able to move forward in the way that you really see yourself moving forward. Because in a very fundamental perspective, right, this is a Jupiter in Capricorn. Capricorn has to do with work. Jupiter has to do about luck and expansion and forward movement. And we have 2 pentacles here. This indicates you have a choice between either 2 jobs or 2 paths, meaning stay unemployed or get that job. Take this job, take that job. You know, whatever it is. But where you're going to be able to move forward and have success, and you're very confused right now. And then we have the Hierophant energy. Again, that's why I'm really strong. I am strongly feeling, Scorpio, that you're being invited in this energy to really look at your belief system. Whether this has to do, and again, the 2 of Pentacles, I just indicated it having to do with career. Very similar circumstance having to do with a partnership. Should I stay single or should I get back with them? Should I go with that person or should I go with this person? And it's really trying to identify this. Okay? The battle of the wills here could certainly be about money, or it could simply be about mental, emotional, and physical connection. Do you guys communicate in the way that is satisfactory? Do you guys have a healthy, intimate life when you guys were together? Did you guys have a healthy social life? When you were, I mean, no one has a good social life now, but I'm talking about like if there's a revisiting here. Then we have the Hierophant energy. That's why I'm thinking, yeah, belief system. But this is good. This is good. Okay? Because the Hierophant is your religion. It's how you view life. It's your belief system. How do you think relationships should be? What do you think you should be gaining from career exactly besides money? Are all of those boxes being checked? If not, getting in touch with that. It's thinking about all of that. Right? And this is connected to Taurus in astrology. Taurus is a pentacle energy. It's an earthy energy. Taurus is beautiful. It's also ruled by Venus, and Venus is connected to money as well as relationship. So that's why I do get this very global feel for you, Scorpio. I don't think you're only thinking of relationship. I don't think you're only thinking of career. I think you're thinking of everything in a very sort of holistic way, and how they're all integrated in your life, and what it is that you need to be doing right now. But I do have to say, because of the Lenormand, when it comes to the relationship sector in your life right now, intimacy, there is right now you having more of a fear perspective that's going to inflect the way you see reality, because reality, and I'm going back around here, is way more positive than you realize, having to do with your intimate life. Somebody loves you, and it's just, and you love somebody. And these are general messages, guys. So if you have nobody in your life, that element of the reading does not pertain to you, okay? All right, my friends, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.